Okay. Looks like we're working. That took me a long time. It's 10:02. 2 minutes to get all of this sorted out. Anyway, good morning. Hello. Greetings, everybody. Happy Thursday, if you're catching this on Thursday. If you are live with me, please let me know in the comments that you're here. Drop a hello. Hello, Alina. If you're able to heart or like this video, that does help me with the algorithms as well. If you're catching the replay, hashtag replay so that I know you have got this, and I will keep an eye out here for questions and comments throughout the day. So we are on day 4 of our month-long February challenge of making your desires matter. So we make it matter, and then it turns into matter. So that's what we're really focused on here this February, this entire month. So for anyone who doesn't know me, for any newbies to the group, I am Heather McGregor. I'm the founder of this group and of Naturally Present. I help people to really get present so that they can understand what they're animating, whether that's their shadow, old beliefs, old identities, or their power, their clarity, their soul blueprint, all that stuff. So that's the work that I get fired up about. And I'm just going to have a listen. Okay, good. So our speech is still working. So if you have not yet figured out what you are creating by the end of this month, spend some time. My invitation is spend some time, get clear on that, share it in the group so we can support you on your journey. So to recap, so far in this month, we talked, now I know January 31st was Monday, so it's not technically February, but I still brought it in. So we talked about how money is always responding to you and the need to really go all in the creation of your desires. Right, really getting into that active energy rather than the passive. Tuesday, we called out our liars, our inner liar, the sneaky, subtle child energy, which can really have a huge impact on what we're creating. Yesterday, we talked about the opposite of that. So we brought in the sovereign. So we looked at our command, our decrees, taking full responsibility and full ownership for our command, rather than just wishing, dreaming, and hoping and praying that something will happen. And today, we are talking about collapsing energy. If you're doing it, what the impact of that is, and how to stop doing it. And I can speak with authority on this one because I do this. I have done this many, many times. I have been in this, and many people I know have gone through this, particularly if you are, working for yourself, you're an entrepreneur, you're building a business, whatever it is. It's a very, very familiar experience, very, very familiar habit, right? We raise the energy of something up, and then we watch it collapse, right? Then we build the energy up, and then we watch it collapse. So that's what I'm talking about here. And what do I mean by collapsing energy? So if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and drop them in. I don't get to see who's here on my iPad as much as I would if you're on the screen. But anyway, what do I mean by collapsing energy? Well, we know that everything is energy. I'm energy, this computer is energy, your energy, everything is energy. Energy is always in motion. It's always moving and coming together and separating and doing whatever it does. So when it comes to a collapsing of energy, it's not that the energy deletes itself or goes away. It's that it has moved from one to another. It's just shifted. So when energy collapses in on a structure or something, there's a collapsing in that area, but the energy goes elsewhere. So it's not that we kill the energy, but we collapse it. So a really easy example that I know everyone here can understand is New Year's resolutions. So you get an idea, you get inspired, you bring out your pom-poms, rah-rah, right? You're very, very inspired. You go through your cupboards and you throw away all the junk food, you schedule workouts in your calendar, you polish up your running shoes, or maybe you buy new workout gear, whatever you do. Your energy is high, you're feeling really good, very inspired, you've got momentum around what you're going to do, and you're really going to do it this time. There's some high energy. It's exciting. And that energy is all based on a projection of a future moment where you're going to take some action in the future and how you're going to feel really good in that future moment when you actually do the thing that you set out to do. That's kind of what a New Year's resolution is, right? Then January 1st comes along and you might get started. Maybe you've got a great week of workouts, you follow for 2 weeks, maybe even the whole month. But how long do you stick with it, right? There's a moment in time where something comes up and we make the decision, the choice not to follow through. How long you stick with it How long you maintain that motivation or that inspiration is very extremely variable. Something will happen in your life and you will lose steam. You get sick, your schedule changes, you just don't feel like it. Whatever the details are, something comes along and you skip the workout or whatever that day. You lose the momentum, you lose the inspiration, right? You lose that desire to keep going. And you go back to the way things were. The energy of that New Year's resolution has collapsed. So when it comes to business, you might get an idea. Perhaps you see something online or you see another coach or mentor or whatever you are out there and you think, oh, I love what they're doing. I'm going to bring that into my business. You get all fired up. Of course, you change things and you make it yours. You're fired up, you're motivated, you start to get into action, you start planning. Let's say it's a new program. So you've got a new program, you've got an idea for a new program. You start crafting out content, you start putting the visuals together, you look at when you're going to post, who you're going to reach out to, you get into that creative process and you're feeling really, really, really good. And then you start to put out some marketing, you start to put out some posts, maybe you do some lives, you feel really like your content's really powerful and it's definitely going to bring folks straight into your inbox. They're going to be coming to you, they're going to be seeking you out, they're going to want to join this program. So you put out your marketing, you put out your content, and then crickets. I know this is a familiar scenario. I know for me it is, and I know for everyone I've spoken to in this realm, it happens. Now here's where you've got all this energy built up. And nothing happens. What happens next? No one's responding to your inspiration. No one is responding to your motivation. No one is responding to your marketing. No one is responding to your energy. And it is at this exact moment in time where your shadow is going to hop on in and say, I told you so. So your saboteur, your prostitute, victim, child, all that energy kicks into high gear. Here's a tiny crack in that doorway of our inspiration where all your shadows are going to start to put their tentacles back in. And then the energy around this thing that you're creating, around this new program, starts to collapse. You start to lose faith. You start to lose confidence. You start to lose belief. Your uncertainty creeps in. Your motivation is lost. Your inspiration has dissipated. It all starts to disintegrate. That's the collapsing of the energy. And there's a couple of reasons why this happens. Number one, the initial idea you got, the program that you're developing, let's use as our example. The thing that you got inspired to create was actually based on something external to you. It wasn't your genius. It wasn't your creation. It wasn't your energy. It wasn't your thing to animate in the beginning. You got inspired by something you saw outside of yourself. It didn't come from within you as a pure expression of your business, your genius, your art, your talents, your gifts, your body of work. So naturally, as you leave the field of that original inspiration, the original creation, which gave you the inspiration, the energy starts to leave as well. It starts to collapse. It starts to collapse in on itself. And we see this all the time in coaching. You have a session with your coach, you get all fired up, inspired, clear, motivated, all that great stuff happens. You get all gung-ho, you leave the session or the energy of the container that you and your coach have created, and then slowly, you slide back into old habits, old identities, old beliefs, slide back to shadow. It's because the inspiration or the motivation or the energy behind the thing that you're creating was not yours to begin with. And this is very, very common. We see it all the time. You see something that someone's doing, you think, I can do that. You put together your content, you put it all together, you put it out there. It's not yours. So you don't get the response back. You don't get the response or the feedback that you wanted, or the clients or the money or whatever it is. The energy of the thing collapses on itself. You move on to the next piece of inspiration, motivation, whatever else, right? So it's really important to ensure that the thing you are creating is for your body of work. It is from you internally, rather than inspired and motivated by something external. So that's a big piece of collapsing energy. Another reason why the energy collapses, let's say it did come from within you. This is fully your body of work, your magic to bring to life, your creation, your genius expressed. And you do all the things, you put it out there, you don't get the results, right? Now your shadows have crept in and you didn't catch them. So fear, doubt, uncertainty, lack of belief, lack of faith, all that stuff hops on in. And as soon as you turn your attention towards it, the energy of the container, the thing you're trying to create, starts to collapse. And let's say this thing again, it is entirely yours, and you're doing all the alchemy, you're shifting the shadow, you're trying to stay present to catch that shadow energy as soon as it comes up, but you're not getting the results in the time frame that you want. You're not seeing or you're not receiving the evidence that what you're doing is working. Now, remember, evidence is all in the realm of the saboteur, all in the realm of the mental, the mind. You're not getting the right engagement on your marketing. The wrong people are commenting. No one's booking sales calls. No one's buying your program or whatever it is you're selling. And it is here in these exact moments when you are standing on a knife's edge, a precipice. And you can either keep on looking for feedback, looking for results, looking for the evidence that you're on the right track, or you can simply keep going, keep tuning in, keep animating the energy of the thing you're building, the thing you're creating, without looking for the feedback, without looking for the evidence. You want to keep animating that marketing, dropping really powerful codes into the content you're creating, standing so solid in your desire to create this experience, this program, and have just the right people come to you. They may not come in the time frame that your mind will see as evidence. They may not even come from the marketing that you're putting out. They might come from somewhere out of left field. You don't know. That's the realm of the magician, who can trust and believe that, you know, as you animate the energy, as you build this thing up, as you bring this energy to life, it's causing reverberations and echoes to happen out in the sea of energy that we live in, that is impacting someone somewhere. It might not be from the post that you've just put out. So the fact that you don't get engagement, that's okay. But if you're looking for that feedback, that evidence that, yes, I'm on the right track. Yes, I'm using the right visuals. Yes, I'm using the right words. You want that feedback to tell you that you're on the right track and you don't get it, you start to collapse the energy. You start to doubt. You start to be in fear. You start to think, oh, it's not really going to work. Then you start to remove your energy. I have been through this scenario. You know, I've tried to launch programs last year that they just fell flat. It was very clearly my own program to birth, to bring to creation. I could see it, I could taste it, I could feel it. I knew what I wanted the whole realm to be like. And I started to put out content, but I didn't get any response. I didn't get the response that my mind told me I should be getting. And so there was no evidence, no proof that anyone wanted this, that it was going to work, that anyone would come. And when I didn't get that evidence, excuse me, I take some water. When I didn't get that, when my saboteur did not receive the evidence it wanted, the proof that this was going to work, energetically, I already had 1 foot out the door. So while I was still, you know, putting out some content and putting out marketing, the energy of it had collapsed. I had 1 foot already out the door looking for the next thing. So I kept trying, but of course there's no power on it because I let the energy of the thing I was trying to create collapse. And of course the program failed. I didn't have any sales. Amazing learning opportunity. Remember, the sovereign always looks at her mistakes and is willing to learn. But I did not stay in the energy of the creation, the thing that I wanted to bring to life. I didn't allow the energy of the thing itself to grow, to expand, to really just do its magic. I didn't trust that whatever I was putting out was having an impact somewhere, whether I could see it with my mind's eye or see it with my eyes, my visual eyes or not. I'm getting engagements, likes, all that kind of stuff. Right? I didn't have the faith and the belief that maybe some people were actually moved by what I was putting out, but they just weren't commenting. And maybe just needed another day or another week before, or the next post that I put out to actually start engaging with me. The moment I noticed I didn't get the feedback, I let the energy of the thing collapse. Can you see how powerful that is? Right? We want to be in the energy of the thing we're creating and animate that without the need for proof, without the need for evidence. If a certain tone of content wants to come through you, you put it out there without question and without looking for that feedback. Everything that we desire to create, whether it's a, excuse me, a group program or a one-to-one offer or a digital course, or you want a healthier body, you want to eat better, exercise better, you want healthier relationships, whatever the thing is that you desire to create and experience in your life, first and foremost, that desire must come from within your body. It cannot simply be a thought. Your thoughts are always changing. Your thoughts are very influenced by what you just saw on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, etc. You're influenced heavily in the realm of your thought. And so if you think you want something, I would recommend letting go of that and dropping into your body, into your bones, into the density of your body, where it's not changing, where your true desires actually are. Because your thoughts don't provide a solid ground for your desires to root into, because your thoughts are always changing and morphing and blowing in the wind. But your true body of work, your true gifts, your true genius, your soul blueprint is a very fertile ground for you to birth things from, for you to create things from. The trick here is to get in touch with that and to know what it is you desire, to know what it is you're creating, and then animate that regardless of the feedback, because it's true for you. And that's how you keep the energy, the container, the energy growing, expanding, reverberating, echoing out to all the energy field around you. Because it comes from you, it comes from your soul, it comes from your bones, it comes from your true body of work. It is not something that is just in the mind. So, I really get going. I hope this is landing for you guys. Let me know if this is making sense. So let's remember that everything we create has an energetic body. And we animate that energy of the thing through the actions we take, the attention we give it, the words we speak, the content we create, all that stuff. So when you notice that shadow is popping up, there's some fear, doubt, disbelief, not seeing the evidence, all that stuff, right then and right there in the moment, you have to flip it. You have to choose to alchemize that energy, to shift it into the power so that you can keep expanding the energy of the thing you're creating and not let it collapse. The moment you step into shadow, the collapse has begun. You need to be so present in the moment that you catch it, you catch it, you catch it. You want to pay attention and really tune into the energy of the thing you're creating, because it has its own energy body. And you are simply adding your energy into it as you bring it to life and animate it, experience it, and bring it to creation. And as you do that, it will naturally attract the right people, but you don't always see the linear pathway of how the people come to you. So if you're not getting the engagement, it doesn't mean it's not arranging molecules in the people who are right for your program. That can be happening outside of the amazing posts and contents you're doing. You don't know. Saboteur wants to know. The magician trusts, right? So keep tuning into the energy of the thing that you're creating, the program, the offers, whatever it is, and asking, like, what is my next powerful move? What is my next powerful move? Move on it. What's my next move? Move on it. What's my next move? Do not look at the evidence to come back for you. Do not look for the feedback. Do not look for the proof. That's how you keep the energy alive. As soon as you look for the feedback and you let that impact you, there's a collapsing of energy. So remember, the lover sets the very clear desires of the soul and the high standards. The sovereign then comes in and takes command of it being done. And she is willing to sacrifice whatever comfort is needed to be sacrificed in order to have that decree come to be. Then the warrior gets into that powerful action that is a response to that sovereign command. He knows what to do. He's out there taking the action. He's intuitively guided. He moves, he moves, he moves. Then the magician is always taking those leaps of faith, trusting, willing to look like a fool, willing to try different things, willing to fail, right? And the magician knows how creation happens, how manifestation happens, and knows that it is not a linear experience. It's not, I put a post out, people respond, I get a client. Sometimes it can be that. I'm not saying that it doesn't work that way, but if the mind is always looking for that evidence and you don't get it, then the energy starts to collapse. That's the piece to be aware of, if I could sum it up. So, when it comes to your exercise, your eating, your offers, your programs, whatever it is that you're bringing into creation, the things that you purely desire to create and experience in your life, tune into the energy of the thing and be present with it. You do not want to rely on inspiration or momentum or motivation, or all those external things, because those are no longer current. What is current is the current of the energy you're running right now. And that is it. And when you're current and you're present, that's when you notice shadow. The moment it arrives, you alchemize it. You shift it. That's how you start to collapse timelines, which is different than collapsing energy. You let your next move come from within you, from an internal command that the sovereign has taken responsibility for. It is not a replication of something that you see other people doing. It is not when you've been inspired by your coach or some piece of content that you just came across online. That will collapse. Inspiration will collapse. Current will not collapse, so long as you stay tuned into it. So as you can imagine, this is all leading us into tomorrow's session, which is all about taking your hands off the steering wheel, like really allowing yourself, your mind, to be out of control. So tomorrow's gonna be lots of fun. We're gonna talk about that. Animate your soul blueprint. All the stuff I'm delivering to you right now is exactly what this mastermind is, where you are going to go very deep into this work in your own energetic body, in your own creations, in your marketing, in your business, all that stuff. So if you're interested, let me know, or simply get your application in. It is still open. Yeah, it's going to be super, super powerful. It's a 4-month-long mastermind, and you're going to get all this stuff in a much, much deeper way. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. For anyone who's here today, again, I will keep an eye out here for your comments and questions. If you have any questions about this stuff, or you just don't know what I'm talking about when I bring these archetypes in language in, let me know. I do have a freebie I can send your way so you can learn about it. Have a gorgeous moment, and I will see you here tomorrow. We are back to 9 tomorrow, so an hour earlier for Friday's session tomorrow, where we take our hands off the steering wheel. All right, bye for now, everybody.